Hey guys, a bit of a different location for my review because I was on my way home from seeing Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey and I wanted to do the review while it was fresh in my head, and I think fresh air also helps with the mind. So, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, based on the classical Greek tale by Homer. I didn't like it. I certainly didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. The issue with this movie is it has no distinctive identity. Essentially, the movie starts off with a phrase, "in an age of apparent magic," and that was my first clue that I wasn't going to enjoy this movie as much as I thought. Now, don't get me wrong, the performances are all great, and I did do a video a while ago bitching about the accents, and I have to say the performances totally eradicate that issue. The accents are not a bother to me while I was watching this movie. Everyone is given a stellar performance. Matt Damon as Odysseus, Anne Hathaway as Penelope, Tom Holland, John Bernthal, John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo is fucking brilliant in this movie. All the performances are incredibly human, incredibly heartfelt, and they get the themes across of PTSD, of guilt, of coming home from war and not being the same person. They do that magnificently. However, the movie, like Nolan's other movies, I find, is just very sterile. There's no real identity to it. And going back to the opening phrase of "in an age of apparent magic," see, the thing is, he wants to do a realistic rendition of the Odyssey, which is a fucking impossibility. And as a result, the more fantastical elements suffer. For example, the designs on the Cyclops and the Hydra monster that attacks Odysseus' crew halfway through the movie, they are incredibly uninspired. They are boring. They are just so fucking boring. There's no distinctive design about them. I get it, he wanted to keep the creatures grounded, but as a result, there's nothing memorable about them. I'll remember the Cyclops from the Armed Asante 90s Odyssey miniseries. I'll remember that. I'll remember the Hydra from other renditions from Harryhausen and stuff. This creature, the creature that attacks when they're trying to circumnavigate the whirlpool, there's no distinctive design. It's featureless. It reminded me of the Langoliers. It's just this mass of kind of tendrils and mouths, and it's just boring. And that is a cardinal sin. I cannot fucking fathom a movie that is boring, particularly the fucking Odyssey, a classical Greek tale. The other thing is, it's just the armor, the locations, everything just feels like sets. The world doesn't feel lived in. It feels very kind of constructed. There's nothing to give a real sense of world building. And as I said before, it just feels sterile. I am going to forget this movie. I felt the same way about Dunkirk as well. And whereas Dunkirk is a historical movie with kind of a very kind of grounded basis with no distinctive kind of characterization, it can get away with that. This is a classical fucking Greek tale, and it feels watered down. It feels dry. There's no, I don't know how to explain it. There's no personality to this. As I said before, I'm going to remember the miniseries with Arma Dasante as Odysseus from the 90s. Fuck it, I'm going to remember a really great movie that came out a couple of years ago called Return with Ray Fiennes as Odysseus. That is a great rendition, and that captures the last act of this movie. This just felt like it had no identity of its own. It just felt really hollow. The story itself is told in a non-linear fashion, and That's great. I thought that was clever. And as I said before, the performances are great. I cannot fault the performances, but there's just something in an effort to make this feel grounded. There's no distinction to it. There's no personality, and it's just sad because everyone is doing their best, but the designs of the armor, the designs of the ships, they stop in a number of locations and they could all be the same fucking location, bar Hades. I think Hades, they've done a great job with Hades, but there's just nothing really to give it its own kind of style. It's just very watered down. The only scenes that I think worked really well was when they encountered Cersei, the witch Cersei, and that goes into almost body horror realms, and that was pretty interesting. But the rest just seemed to meander, and it didn't really have its own distinctive kind of style. And I think this is a movie I will forget in about 2-3 months time. Again, I'm not faulting the performances, everyone's great. It looks splendid from a filmmaking point of view, but for a world building point of view, it's just very fucking stale and dry. And I think that's the issue. Again, the Cyclops, I fucking love the Cyclops. That's one of my favorite creatures in Greek mythology. Its design is just really, it's really fucking bland. I know they tried to do something different with it by changing the orientation of the nose and the eye, but it didn't excite me, and neither did the other creatures that were featured in it. The giants, quote unquote giants, they didn't even look like fucking giants. They were just slightly taller lads in armor. Again, I'm not going to bitch about the accuracies of when it was set and such forth. My issue is that just this is a movie that has an identity issue, and as a result it suffers. My own opinion, unless you're a die-hard Nolan fan, maybe leave this one till streaming. But if you want to watch something more engaging and more fun, I think that my other issue was this movie wasn't fun. I didn't have fun with this. I would check out the old 90s series with Arma Desante, or even if you want something more compelling, maybe check out The Return with Ralph Fiennes. But that's just my opinion, guys. What did you think? Have you seen the Odyssey? If you have, let me know in the comments below. And what is your favourite Greek myth also? My name's Martin, this has been the Trash Picture Show, and yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.